What's up, y'all? Before I go any further, you see it, we got merch coming. So this is the first one that we're doing. This is just a sample, so I haven't decided what design I'm gonna use yet or anything like that. I want to do something with the Impala, but this is the first sample that I ordered, and I also have I also got this right here. So y'all might want to check that out. Mugs. So yeah, just the first little sample of merch. I've been putting it off, so I finally got some ordered and started. So we'll see. I may have it up for sale soon. I'm just finalizing the designs. If y'all like this one, you know, let me know. If not, I'm gonna do one with the Impala logo or something like that. But this is what we're working on today. Shout out my boy Dollar. Go follow him on Instagram. Y'all probably seen this car. It's a viral video going around. It's 3 DCM Impalas at the Whip Addict car show. This all on 26s. Well, 2 of them on 26s. It's my boy Cardi and Dollar. Cardi's Impala is the one that I did the window fix on. And then this is his brother's car. And he's got these Amani Forged 26s on it. He has the shop All Around Customs out in, what's that? Powder Springs? I think it's Powder Springs. So what we're doing today is putting the matching steering wheel in here. He's got the matching steering wheel for these wheels. So we're gonna toss these in here. Toss this in here. So we're gonna put the matching steering wheel in it. Boom. And then we'll put the Z28 cluster in it. So I know I did Dakota Digital videos, a couple of Dakota Digital videos. And so this will be the first Z28 cluster video. Now my car had a Z28 cluster in it. I actually sold him the cluster out of my car because I just put a Dakota Digital in my car. But I think this cluster is pretty much dead. So we're putting the, we're gonna go ahead and put the Z28 in here. It's gonna be really easy too, because we have to take the steering wheel off. It actually makes it a lot easier to every time somebody called me. All right, I'm back. So what I'm gonna work on first, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the steering wheel off because that'll actually make it really easy to do the Z28 install, and I'll show you. Now, I normally do Z28 cluster. It does require a lot of trimming. I wish I would have took pictures of my car because you got to trim a lot of the inner dash workings, and then you need an aftermarket harness for it. Not aftermarket, but custom harness. So this is my old Z28 cluster. It's already been trimmed, so you got to trim some stuff there and the sides. It's already been done, which makes it easy for me. And then it has a eBay overlay. It goes over. I'll show you what a regular one looks like. Let's see if I can find it. I have so I can show you a comparison. Oh, here we go. So this is one that has not been, doesn't have the overlay. So this is how they come with the harness. This one's been trimmed because this one's been installed as well in an Impala, but you can kind of see the difference. So that's how it looks, how it comes, and then this is with the custom overlay. It lights up like blue and red, and it's real pretty, and a lot of people really like that. I got this one off of eBay. It was like 50 bucks or 60 bucks or whatever, and I got the idea of it from Don Paul, so shout out Don Paul. He's one of the Atlanta Inc. members here, and he had it in his car, and I loved it. I was like, yep, I want that. But now we got Dakota Digital. So I already did a video on how to do put these custom steering wheels in these cars. I did it on my homeboy Marvin's car. He's got a DCM 96 on some Ruchis, and I did a whole video on how to do it. So I'm not gonna go over all that. I'm gonna go ahead and just pull the steering wheel off, and then I'll pick up the video when it comes time to actually trim the inner workings of the dash and stuff like that. So see you in a minute. All right, so that was an ordeal. Taking the steering wheel off of these cars isn't too terrible. It's pretty straightforward. The hardest part is getting this little snap ring off that holds the airbag module on there. So I got that off out the way. Got all the screws out the cluster. If you got a 96, you don't have to deal with this. You can just, this won't be in the way. So, because we got a 95, put the brake on if it works. I like to look and see how much gas is in it. and the mileage. That way I know how much is in it. So, yeah, we're not going nowhere. Okay. This thing turned up loud. Okay. All right, so let me pull the old cluster out and then I'll show you what you need to trim and all that. I haven't done this in a while, but from what I remember, I don't need to take the lower dash out. I think I can do it all in here. So let me get the cluster out and then we'll test fit the new cluster and I'll show you how it all works and everything like that. Okay, so I took the lower dash. Normally I move these completely out the way, but he's got an EQ and bass knobs and all kind of stuff hooked up to it. And I don't want to have to unhook all that stuff, so I kind of just let it hang here. So got the cluster out. This is the Z28 cluster like I showed you. This is your tack wire, so I got to run a tack wire from under the hood to this. Now here's where it gets tricky with these. This is a harness that I got from a guy on Facebook. He builds them, and basically what he does is he takes the old harness, the old cluster, breaks off the piece in the back, you can see, and makes it plug and play. So this will plug right into those two right here, and then it goes right into the Z28 cluster. This extra wiring and this stuff here, this is for the overlay. It's got its own dimmer. And it would never really switch colors. I never understood what this blue-green was because it never really changes colors, but you can use this as a dimmer for it. I just kept it all the way up because it wasn't that bright where I needed to dim it, and it looked pretty good. And really, I just run this, and I did this a while ago, so I use like some speaker wire, but I'll redo this with some better wiring. And you just basically connect this to the headlight switch so it comes on when you turn the key. And that's it. I may actually hook it up to the dimmer now that I know which one is in here. I may just tap it into the dimmer and the ground here and it should work. But right now we're just gonna, I remember on my car I cut a lot, like all of this had to come out, all that, and I'll show you. Let's get this off of here so we'll get at least one thing out the way. So yeah, this is the Z28 cluster harness right here. So we'll need this in a few minutes. But yeah, like all this needs to be trimmed out and that. So we'll put it in there and I'll show you how much actually needs to be taken out. It's a lot, if I remember correctly. I'll probably need to put this down. Yeah, so right off the rip, I mean, you can't even get this thing in. I mean, that's about as far as I can get it. So we're gonna have to trim out some on both sides to get it in there. I mean, it'll slide in, but I mean, let's see. I mean, it won't even go in. So there is some modification needed, mostly on this side because the plug goes in on that side. So you definitely got to make clearance for the plug. And I remember I had to cut all this up here. So let me go grab the Dremel and get to cutting. After a whole lot of cutting and trimming, it's in there pretty good. I actually cut less than I did for my car. So basically, I cut this whole top piece off. So it's set at the top there. That's where the old cluster bolts in, right there. And then we cut a couple small pieces out of there. It's in there. I'm gonna plug it up. I think I got enough room for the harness in there. It looks like I think I should be good in there. Looks like there's enough clearance in the side there for the harness. And of course, somebody's calling me every single time. My phone hasn't rang in probably 2 hours. As soon as I start filming, somebody calls me. I think it's, oh, all right. Every single time, guys. As soon as I get to filming, my phone starts ringing. So, show you what I trimmed. I was gonna take this piece off. That's why this is cut, but I didn't need to. It actually holds it in place. On mine, I had cut this out, but it seems to be fine. So pretty much that whole corner came out, and then the whole top piece up there came out. And now it fits pretty good. So now I'm going to tap into the headlight switch for the power for the overlay. We'll plug this in and vacuum all this crap up, and this part will be done, and then we'll get the new steering wheel put on. But that's about it. It's pretty simple. You just got to kind of trim, test fit, trim, test fit. But that's pretty much what you'll be left with. So the only issue with this is if you do decide to put the factory cluster back in, it won't get bolted at the top. But the cool thing is this bezel will actually hold it in place pretty well. So because it's got the 2 screw holes at the top, so that holds it back. Because actually there's no way that I've seen, I mean, so I've seen some people make like tabs and stuff to mount these, but I've had mine in my car for 2-3 years and it never moved or gave me a problem. So that's how I'm going to install this one. So let me get the harness hooked up, and I got to go under the hood and run the wire for the tack from under there through, and then hook it up to this, and that'll be that. So there it is installed. It's plugged in, so we got everything. Only thing on is the brake light, seat belt. Temp hasn't updated yet. Got fuel. I gotta hook up the tack, but the lights come on. Oh, this doesn't come on yet because I haven't given it power, but as you can see, oil pressure, we got voltage, everything else works. So should be pretty cool. I think you'll be happy with it. So let me get all this crap back together. I'll run the wire down so I can just put this back up. We'll get the lighting tapped into the headlight switch and we'll call it done. Well, this part. But you see it's plugged in down there. The adapter, the thing is plugged in down there. So I think it came out good. Like I said, I haven't done a video on how to do this yet. So, and I haven't put out a video in a while, so I wanted to give you guys something. And don't worry about that F250 over there. That's not supposed to be there. That'll be gone. So, all right. So, okay. All right. So, I got the steering wheel kind of just mocked in here right now because the button is kind of stupid. It's missing a nut here, and then there's no positive that goes down in there. So I got to figure that out. But the cluster's in. Everything works like it should. The only thing I haven't done is the tack. This is the tack signal. I put everything back together so I can at least just finish. And I actually installed this one better than I did in my car. In my car, this wasn't flush. So I cut enough on this car to make sure it was flush. So, and then you got the little dimmer down here so you can dim it. You know. And then I didn't even realize you could do this. Make it green. Look at that. Blue, green, blue, green. So on my car, I didn't mount it. I just left it blue and turned all the way up because it wasn't too bright. But as you can see, everything works. Only thing that doesn't work is the tack, but we'll tackle that tomorrow. You gotta put a pin in A13 on the red connector, and that's your tack signal. Just gotta mess with the steering wheel, get it finished and installed, and then we'll be done with this. All right, so it's the next day. I gotta put the tack signal in for the Z28 cluster. So got the hood propped up. I don't know, he's got this new, I don't know if this is a Suncoast or an old school Street Trends hood, but he doesn't have these attached. I don't know why, so I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm just gonna prop it up. So you got 4 connectors on your PCM. You got red, black, blue, and clear or white, but I think it's clear. On the red plug, the pin A13 is the one where the tack signal is. Whether your car whether it's a 96, 94, or 95, they all have it. The only difference is the 96 actually has a wire going to it. On the 94s and 95s, there's no wires going to it. So what you have to do is I have a bunch of wire harnesses over here. So what I got to do is grab one of these old harnesses. You know, even an LS will work. And grab one of these pins out of here and cut the wire and use that pin and push it into the A13 on the red connector, and then run that inside and hook it up to the tack signal I got inside the car. So I think the red one's going to be, I think it's this one, but we don't have to guess. We can just pull this stuff off and come on. Okay, hold on. All right, got that off. You can see it says red. So we'll take these little security clips off, and all these do is it's a lock basically to keep that in there. I got a whole box of those because I always forget to put them back in because, I mean, it's not a moving area. So, you know, they put them on there for some reason, but I never understood why. So we'll pull this out, open this up, and I'll show you what to do from there. All right, so I pulled this out of one of the mini harnesses I have over there. The tack wire is normally white, but it really doesn't matter the color of the wire as long as you know what it's for. And there's only gonna be one wire running in there, so I got this thing taken apart. Once you pull it out, you can see it's a little dusty, but you can see there it says 1 and then 16. So that means this pin's 1 through 16. And if you look at the bottom, it's 17 through 32. So what you do is you go open this up. There's these little tabs you have to pry, and you open this up, and then you just count 13 spots, or you can see it. It's actually numbered. If it's dirty like this one, you just go 13 over, and that's going to be 2 over from that green wire and 1 behind the brown wire. So real simple. Let's see if I can set you up so you can see somehow. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. Okay, yep. So all we got to do is take this and push it through. Oh, hold on. I should be able to go through. No, it won't. You got to take this red cover off. I forgot. Because this actually keeps the pins in place. So you also got to take this little red cover off. There's 2 little tabs here on the side. You just push them in. It's a little tricky sometimes, but push one in, lift it up. See right here. Oh shoot. There we go. That one's up. Go to the other side. Boom. Miss it. So now you can push it through because there's these little tabs that keep these in place. So if you try to push it through without taking that off, it won't even lift up. So we counted, let's see, 13 is next to this brown one. So you just push it through. And there's nothing there, so you gotta kind of, there's usually like some rubber in there or something, so you gotta push past that and get it through. You'll hear it click once it gets through. Come on. Sometimes you may need to help it a little bit. Come on. Almost. Got it. All right. Felt the click. You can tug it, make sure it doesn't move. So now you got your tack signal. Hook that back up. Just run the wire out like that, and then you can clip these back in like this. Boom. And that's it. You're done. Well, that part's done. Still got a little bit more work to do. But now you can plug it back in. Put the lock back on it, and then I'm gonna solder this and extend it inside. But that part you should know how to do. However you want to do it. I'm gonna put some of this. I got some more of this loom, some thin one like this, and or I might. Is that going inside? No, that's going up and down. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna run this inside the car somehow. And that'll give us our tack signal to the dash. So let me get it run and cleaned up, and then I'll show you how it looks once we get it hooked up. All right, got it all loomed up nice and fancy. On all these cars, there's a little tab down there, a little plastic tab. If you pop that out, it brings you out behind the insulation on the firewall, and you can go right through there. and then it comes in behind the right here on the side of the lights in the way of the emergency brake. See right there? And then we got the wire here, so I'm just gonna zip tie this up in here so it's not hanging or get caught by the emergency brake, and we'll be good to go. We'll be set. Let's test it. Let me go get the keys. Oh shoot. Okay. All right. Moment of truth. Oh yeah, look at that. We got tack. All right, RPMs work. So we'll call that done. All right, so that's how you put a Z28 cluster in a 95 Impala. I mean, pretty straightforward. I believe on the 96, I've never put one in a 96, but I believe on the 96, you can, there is a tack signal behind the cluster that you can tap into. But I've never put a Z28 in a 96, so I think with the 96 you can skip that last step. I'm pretty sure there will be a tack signal because that gauge came with a tack output, so just keep that in mind if you're doing a 96. Just look at the schematic and see if you can find one. But that's it for today. Look out for merch on the way, coming soon. Sweaters and tumblers. And I'll see y'all in the next one.